All right, what's up, guys? We should be live. Welcome back to another episode of the Investors Collaborative. We're just trying to do this segment like once a month, try to bring people on, talk about crypto, some of the projects we're in. Obviously, the main projects that most of us are in that follow the channel is Drip and Animal Farm. So we'll focus on that. But I put out a poll about a week ago and was just saying, hey, who would you guys like to have on the channel? I'd like to do a few more live streams so it's not just me talking to the team. And a lot of votes came in, and a lot of votes came in for a guy named Crypto Phil. So we've got Crypto Phil on, and we're going to talk about Drip, Animal Farm, some other projects we're in. He's doing some amazing stuff with the charity. So let's bring him on, and we'll just chat it up, and we'll have a good time for probably the next hour. What's up, my man? How are you?
Mr. Scott, thank you so much for having me. Hope you can hear me well.
No problem. We can hear you. Let's see. I can hear you at least. What's if you guys can hear everyone in the chat, if you don't mind giving us a heads up. If my volume's good, his volume's good, music volume's good, let us know. Driptopian's already coming through with some tips. Thank you, sir.
I love you. Merry Christmas to you and the family.
Okay, stuff's coming through and it's sounding like people can actually hear us. So let me bring it up on my channel real quick and make sure I've got a couple admins in the chat. Last time I forgot to do that. Here we go. Everyone's saying loud and clear. Perfect. All right, we're good to go, man. I think we figured it out. I'm still trying to figure out how to use this software to the best of its abilities. It's got a lot of cool stuff you can do with intros and everything. So just getting it all figured out. But I want to say thank you for coming on. When I put that poll out, I said, hey, looking to have a couple people on live stream. Who would you like me to talk to? And a bunch of names came up, but your name came up 25 times. So, of course, had to have you on. And luckily for me, you and I had already been talking for the last couple of weeks in the background. So it was cool that we were able to sync up from some of the other projects we're in, and gives us an opportunity to chat it up. So today, let's talk about some of the projects and stuff we're in. I want to spend a few minutes talking about your charity, so we can, maybe bring some awareness to that, get some donations, and help some kids. So we'll talk about that here in a second. But why don't you just tell me a little bit about your story? Where are you from? Are you living in the UK now? And just give me a little background.
Yeah, so hi to everybody. I guess I have a new people here who is watching me, and that's cool because your community is a little bit different than mine. But I guess we have a lot of people who follow us, you and me together. You're like the wise YouTuber over there who always give us like good advice, and I really enjoy your contents, to be honest. And I'm glad we start chatting like was like a few weeks ago. We start chatting in like a different project. Then we start for the gym a little bit, live. I think the interesting stuff in this crypto space is because, one or another way, we all becoming like a little bit small family. I know it's like Stana Breezy says, it's a solo sport, but from another side, we're trying to don't wreck everybody. We try to be more objective. Like I'm talking about you, I'm talking about myself. Regarding your question, to give you a little background, I'm originally from a country called Macedonia. It's a small country next to Greece. Probably you cannot even find on the map 2 million people. I lived in USA in Colorado for 4 years, so that was great experience. I moved back, then I lived 5 years in Bulgaria. I studied, met my wife, then come here to UK 7 years ago. So I'm here stuck in the UK now, and the family start a couple of kids, and I cannot move out. That's about it at the moment. So I start my crypto journey from what's called 2018 when the Bitcoin was 18K. And like most people here, I went to a Christmas party and everybody talked for Bitcoin. I heard the news, everybody talked Bitcoin. I said, what the heck is that? Why I need 18,000 to buy one? They said, no, you can spend a couple $100. So last night, I will love investing. So I start buying Bitcoins and all the stuff and the price going down. And I say, oh my God. So I say, and I started watching videos and everybody just shilling project. And I was just buying everything, $50 here, $20 here. So I was investing for 1.5 years, to be honest. I was investing every month, couple of hundred, whatever I can afford. I was waking up at 2 o'clock at night, 3 o'clock at night, 4 o'clock. I was just checking the market. It was crazy time, 2018. And from 800 million, the market cap went down to like 200 million. Oh man, the Bitcoin crash, it hurt me so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, that's how I started. And then the YouTube channel, I started like a year and 1 month ago. I started the YouTube channel. Yeah.
Awesome.
So here I am.
You built a good channel up. You got, I think, 12,500 subscribers. There's a lot of people that follow your channel. And like you said, we got a little bit different audience, so it'll be nice to kind of blend our audiences and get both audiences checking out our content. So you lived in Colorado for a little while. Right now I live in Utah, so super close, kind of similar weather and all that type of stuff. So it's awesome. But I'm originally from Texas, and I moved around to a couple different states, and I ended up landing here. So not too bad. But I kind of have a sort of similar story. I got into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I think Bitcoin first, and Ethereum in late 2016, early 2017. So I was buying some stuff at some cheap prices. I bought a Bitcoin at $600, and then when it went to 1,200, I sold it. I was like, awesome! I 100% on my money in less than a year. And I bought a bunch of other stuff back then, and I wish I would have hung on to it for a little bit longer, because I bought some stuff. I bought some Litecoin and Ethereum for just dirt cheap. I mean, I forget what it was. I was buying Ethereum for $15, and I ended up selling it for a profit shortly after. And then when everything started to take off again, I bought more. So I actually made pretty good money on the run up at the end of 2017, when it was kind of peaking. I did sell a good chunk of my assets, so I did make some money, and then everything just got buried right after I sold in 2018. It was just a rough year for crypto. Bitcoin went from 20K, like you said, down to 3K or 3,500 or something like that. And it just wrecked a lot of people. But that actually helps me in times like this, where I'm seeing everything crashing and everyone's wanting to get out. I've always wished back then I would have done a better job of just accumulating and just holding what I had that I didn't sell at the top, and just holding and waiting for the next bull run. And I think in the stock market, not that many people are really actively involved in the stock market, and those stock market cycles go every 8 to 10 years. So you got these big booms, and it's not as drastic as the crypto market. Crypto is like every 2 to 4 years you see a major spike and then a major crash, and so you kind of just got to wait it out. But I think anybody who's been through a bear market before knows what the fear feels like right now, and knows they just need to wait and hold on to their assets.
Yeah, I think I agree with the crypto. The thing is, there's so much to learn. I know, especially in the DeFi space. I think we are in hurry here. We want to things happen overnight, and sometimes things, because sometimes the price can blow up 20, 30, 40% up, or 50, 60% down in a day time. And that's normal for crypto, but not normal for stock market. So when you sold in 2000, in 2017 something, probably I was buying on the top.
Yeah.
And so check this out. I was investing because every month my wife didn't know, but I would take a little bit from my paycheck, and I'm a physiotherapy, so I would do some private work, and I would save some money on the side, and I would just invest every month, $100, $200, $300. And in course of 1 year and a half, I invest around $10,000. And then from 10,000, they become 2,000, because they all crash. I sold, I lost, most of them zero. And then when a year and a half ago, when the market go up from 2,000-3,000 what I have worth, they become around 45,000. It's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
And I say, wow, is this I was buying ADA Cardano in 2.5 cents, Matic in 4 or 5 cents, Theta, 10 cents, 5 cents, some ridiculous, because I was just buying I didn't buy Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was buying everything except them, everything.
Yeah.
And then from 45, 50,000, I become greedy. I say, now what to do? And then I learn about farming. Wow. Farming, what's this farm? Wow, you can make 5,000 APR percent, 50,000, the farms. And I got burned with most of the money. I got scammed. I got hacked. I got scammed for like 10K, hacked for 20K. I lost so much. I almost lost everything. And then Drip happened, and then becoming so many other platforms like My Diamond Team, and then all this ROI'd up. And I started making money here and there, start learning more, diversified, don't get too emotional. Learn how to stay safe. Most people don't know how to stay safe. It's always risky, but I have like 3 backup ledgers now. I have 2 laptops, one extra, for emergency. It's just crazy. You must stay focused. Like even I have one phone just when you log into my Binance, I have just to use for the what's called for the Google authentication. So that's happened. I think DeFi space is one beautiful thing. It's very dangerous, but I think with time, I think you agree now we have developers who are docs themselves, KYC, and they're trying to fix the space, after so many racks. There are some good guys there, and I really appreciate. Of course, we cannot say, let's say Drip now is below dollar, it is what it is happened. We cannot always predict the price, and even if there are good developers, however, there are some good guys who are trying to change the space, and I highly appreciate that, and then what's happened is, I started doing some campaign for, you asked me earlier, for donations. So just to put some, to go to that, I think the guy even here who is doing in India, he's here. He's maybe some of the guys who is, if you're here, by the way, if you're watching, feel free to type. If you're not embarrassed. So what's happened is I always, because I'm a physiotherapist, I always help people. So, and I work like with kids with special needs, and I always want to give something. I don't know why, but I'm like, my grandfather was like that, always giving like he was a honey producer, so he was half of the honey he always giving for free. And then my father always helped somebody, and then like in my life I always learn. We have said in my country, we say, the hand, I'm trying to translate, but the hand what's giving never get dry. Basically it's like more you give, more you receive in your life.
Yeah.
So I met a guy here in YouTube. It was from the Philippines. Jason was his name. Amazing guy. We become friends. He say, dude, they always text me, some people, Phil, what I can do to make some money. I say, where you from, how much you earn, okay, do this for me, do that, and I give them some small tasks to help me, and I give them some money, and this guy will build up trust, and then I give him some money, and then he will take that money and he will give to the other poor people there. I say, why you do that? He said, because they need more than me. I say, I was going to ask you the same, to help more people. And then I start giving him little money. He makes some video. Then I give him a little more money. He make another video. But now he gets some health issue at home, so we are out. We don't communicate. He focused on the family like for 5-6 months ago, and that's what's happened. And I say, sometimes I make money from referrals, and I'm so happy. And I'm blessed because we in crypto space, and most people don't realize how happy you are if you make some money, from laying down and like play with the computer basically. And I say, it's not fair to make some money and to don't give something back. And I was giving a lot of giveaways. Probably you don't watch my channel from the start, but I was doing every week giveaway. Most of my referrals I was giving back. It was the time of the miners,
Mm-hmm.
when I start my channel, like we have every day some miner, and I'll make some referrals. I was so happy. One day I make like $1,000 from a referral. It doesn't happen again. And I give like $700-800 just like that, just give away. I give to so many people that time. I was just giving. I say, this is not my money. Thank you, but it's not me. Better to give something back. But when you give to people like that, I don't realize who I'm helping. So I say, okay, why I don't help exactly people who they need? And then I start video, just to see. And that's how I was born, the more you give, more you receive. And we did over now 25 donations so far. And I have a guy from Philippines still helping me, one from India, the guy who's supposed to be here. And I just met 2 days ago. I sent him some money. It's a trial, the guy from Ethiopia, from Africa. He says his paycheck is $70 a month. That's so sad. He said, Phil, I'll give me a couple of pounds, dollars. I will do everything like to help you. I say, no, here, this amount, go and help somebody else and take something for you. So I'm waiting his videos to come, this week. I've been scammed so many times, people will just lie me for $20, but now it's here we are. And I guess most people from your audience here, they should watch definitely some of the videos. More you give, more you receive. It's just something what everybody's supposed to copy my project, but nobody copy my project. What is very sad.
Yeah, it's awesome. I've watched some of those videos, and the kids are helping. I mean, they're definitely in need, and the just the food or the school supplies, any of that type of stuff really helps them. They're really below the poverty line. So I want to make sure that we let people know that we're going to try to support, like you said, Ethiopia, the kids in India, and then also the Philippines. So if we can get a donation, get enough donations come through to help each of those, to help a group of kids in each of those, that would be fantastic. And then how do people do that? Right, you've just got a wallet address you use just for that, and they can send you what USDC, BUSD, or just whatever, and then you convert it over and send it to them.
Yeah, so basically how it's working is only on one address. I'm only using for donations. I used before to use some of the donation money to make more money, like I stake in stable fund, wherever. But what happened now is coming V2, so hopefully I'll get some money back there. But yeah, it's on one address. I'll share to you, or it's under the every single of my videos in the description. Just send some BNB or BUSD. That's the best, or USDT. And usually I'm sending to the guys, and that's about it. Simple as that. I just send, like, I think there are only like $20 left there. So any help will be great. Otherwise, I'm just using everything when I'm making from my like drip piston, like Furio, whatever I'm making. I'm just taking some profits and I'm giving away.
Yeah, perfect. I'm just going to one of your videos right now to see if I can grab that link.
It's
Let's see.
finishing 8188, I believe it was
8188. Let's find it.
188, something like that.
Oh, yep. 0188. Perfect.
Yes, and and also I have a website. One of my amazing admins did a website for me. By the way, she's here, Chloe. Thank you, Chloe. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, she did a website. Chloe, you can share the website if you want. Feel free. I have a website.
Perfect. Chloe's on.
Amazing.
Perfect. Yeah, share the website as well. Go ahead and paste that in there. If it doesn't let you paste it because it's a web address, just type that in the chat and I'll post it from Phil's video here. So that's awesome. Yeah, I'll definitely be donating, and I hope people who watch the stream over the next so many days, they also feel free to go in and donate. All the proceeds are going to go to the kids and everything. So the person who receives the money records the videos and stuff, so we can see everything they're buying and see the happy kids, and so they get a little piece of it because it'll help them too, because they're really living under the poverty line as well. So this should be super helpful.
I think what we did with this guy from India, he's so amazing. Now it was his idea. I say, hey, let's do some giveaway before Christmas, because I have it with James Pelton also, AMA. He want to know more also for this one. Just that's after Christmas, and then this guy bought a Santa Claus, and I sent him now money, and he bought like balls and all the stuff. He will go and give to the kids. Like, he will pretend like he will say Santa Phil. He will just give to the kids. That's so amazing. That's going to happen this week. And like, we find kids in India who are what we did, they're homeless. They live on the street basically, and they're like we went there a couple of times. We give them food. However, now we got a teacher. So I'm paying the teacher every month paycheck. It's only like $150, $200 a month, and I can afford that. I can take from my earnings and I will give if nobody donate. That's okay. And then we give her, now she's teaching them for like 5 days a week for 5 hours. And I'm so happy. Can you imagine, even just, there are like 20 kids over there. Can you imagine if just 2-3 kids of them just to grow up like educated, and they will say, and just to repeat the same process in like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, they will say, wow, this guy was helping me, and now I want to give something back. Just copy paste the process. It's so amazing. And I think the problem is also, don't forget, I'm coming from a country where Mother Teresa is born. Mother Teresa is born in my country. People don't know that. She lived in India, and she was like saint. Now she's saint. So she's one of the best person, in the world who was helping. And we talk about like 30-40 years ago. It's not like centuries ago. Now, what's happening is a lot of people saying, oh, you know what? When I make 10,000, when I make 5,000, I will go and I will help. Or when I do 1 million, I will go and help. No, listen, don't wait to make money. Just help whatever you can. Also, you don't need to help with money. You can go and just you can go and help with. I'm also a blood donor. Like, I have a negative. It's my blood type, so it's very rare. So once a year, for so far I've been only 10 times. It's not bad, but 10 times I've been donate blood. I'm doing also some other stuff. Just go and donate. If you see your neighbor working in the house or something, just go and help him, for a few minutes, couple of hours. Like when I live in America, my neighbor was moving house, and I went to help him, and he gave me like 50 quid, thanks for helping me. I said, listen, man, I'm not coming here for money. I'm not American, just I'm not taking
Yeah.
money for helping the neighbors. I'm
Yeah.
just helping you, just like that. He said, oh no, I must pay you. I say, no, take your money and go and eat a dinner with your family. That's how we grow up. When back home, when somebody works something, your neighbors will come and help you. I believe in the humanity. There's still good people out there.
Absolutely. They're still good people. And like you were saying earlier, I think there's a lot of good, like honest people in the DeFi space, but that's clouded a lot of time by all these negative people who are trying to do rug pulls and really just take money from people. But there's a lot of people like you that use DeFi and crypto and everything to make a little bit extra money, and then you can donate it off and make a big impact in some people's lives. And like you said, people want to wait until they get 5, 10, 15,000 before they can make an impact. I don't think they realize that in other countries, $5, $10, $15 could make a major difference. Like you said, you're paying that teacher $150 a month, and she's teaching, 20, 25 kids. If just a handful of those kids grow up educated and then can make a better life for themselves, understand the importance of education, make sure their kids are educated, then, over time, the whole world ends up being a better place, a more educated place, less poverty and all that. So what you're doing right now with these charities is making a major impact on people's lives for the future. It may not be initially noticed because it's maybe just $100 to this group of kids or whatever, but they'll remember that. And especially like with the additional education, everything as they're growing up, it's going to make a major impact. There's a ripple effect to all the stuff you do. So it's major, and I'm happy to help. I'm glad this could be a big, chunk of the reason we decided to jump on this live stream today and chat about it.
No, that's amazing. What's happening is also slowly by slowly, because a lot of YouTubers, like, they know me and they say, and they like my work. And the beginning they were thinking I'm just scamming, Oh, Phil, we don't believe you. And I said, that's okay. I'm filming, because a lot of people there, they will say, oh, I'm donating here and I'm donating there. Where? Like, who are you sending? Like, I'm sending money to the organization. No. Listen, this world, when you send money to organization, 50-60% go for admin stuff, and there are 20-30% going directly to the people who they need. And I saw that in person, like here in the UK. That's so sad. So I say the only way to help 100% is send the money, give the money, some money for the guy who is doing the movie, and then buy the food and give to the kids. That's about it. Or anybody. Even we help animals. This guy in India, he working in a shelter for cows, for animals, because the cows are saint in India. So we bought a food for 2 weeks, 2 weeks supply for over 200 cows. Can you imagine? Wow. That was only $100. It's not like $1,000, $100. Now check this out. Next year, I'm planning. I really hope, if everything is fine, I'm going in India. That's my plan. I'm going to meet this guy for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. And then I want to travel here and there, go to Mother Teresa place in Calcutta, and just to do some volunteer charity work. And then that's my big goal next year. I'm driving Volkswagen Polo, 2 doors. I have 2 kids, 2 doors, from 2004. Okay. My car is old. Okay. And everybody say, Phil, why don't buy a car? No, man, I better help somebody than buy the car. Next year, my car money will go to travel to help in India. And that's crazy. My wife is happy. Everybody are happy. And everybody around me, they say, Phil, you bought a house. Your car is like still 700 pounds, like dollars. I don't just spend 4 or 5K. Dude, 4 or 5K, I would just help so many kids for like a years. It's like, I think that's my way of thinking. That's me. Everybody different.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. Well, I'm happy to help, and I'll be a regular donator from now on. I started watching your stuff a little while ago, some of your videos that you had out, and then some of your charity videos. So it's inspiring, and I think we're all I don't know, in a way, in your debt and inspired by what the impact you're making out there. So I know there's a lot of people that follow my channel that are barely making it as it is. And so, if you're in that group, we're just glad you're trying to invest and get ahead. But there's also a lot of people, I think, that are doing fairly well and could could be okay to part with 10 or 20 bucks to help kids and all that. So hopefully we can feed some more money into this charity initiative and get a bunch of kids happy. And then hopefully one day, gosh, if DeFi goes off, I'll come with you to India and we can hang out.
Yeah, you never know. Just to mention, if anybody here who is watching from your group or my group, doesn't matter. If anybody is living in the like third world country like India, Philippines, if you can also help me, like do videos for me, I'm more than happy to send you money and go and spread the word out there. Let me know. Just find me in my Telegram or chat with Scott and we can connect. Feel free. I'm open-minded, but just don't try to scam me. It doesn't work.
No,
only work one time. Only work one time.
One time. That's perfect, because I know that for a fact there's some people in my Telegram group and on my team that are from third world countries, and they're excited about the $5 a day they're making or whatever. So I think those people would be a great in and might be able to plug us, either do it themselves or plug us in with someone who's willing to do that and knows a community that could really use some help. So that's awesome, man. I think you're changing lives, and I think it's really admirable. So I'm glad you're doing it, and I'll be
change. Yeah. Check this out. Let's go now for FTX. Look what's happened with FTX, and so much, and everybody now thinking from the normal world who are not in crypto that crypto is bad, and also this put like, crypto is not so bad. We can use crypto for good stuff. You can imagine this guy from the Philippines. He says, Phil, before we met you, they have 4 kids. Then she was pregnant for the 5th one, this lady. And 2 of them, they didn't live with them because they cannot afford to pay them food. And they say, Phil, like they were crying, like every day they were from happiness they met me. And they say, Phil, we are going in bed with empty stomach so many nights. After we met you, we have 3 meals a day. Before that, 1 or maybe 2 meals a day. Can you think about that? Like 1 or 2 meals to go in bed hungry almost every night. And also you have kids and the kids go hungry. I think you cannot imagine. That's why it's so hard. I think it's so hard. When I lived in America, I had so shitty period of my life. 3 months I lived and I eat in the shelter, in the homeless people. I don't have any money. I got scammed. Something happened to me. And 3 months I live there. I live with homeless people, and I can see it's not easy. The life is so hard. And then in 2 years, I was driving a Mustang. It's so crazy, this America. You can change. You can just skyrocket. But then from Mustang, I went down to Fiat 500 from 1973 back home. So my life has been, how to say, let's go like that and like this. And the thing is, what you learn in life, what we learn from that lessons, to don't do the same mistake, grow up, get more stronger, get more educative. Like that's why I like your videos. When you talk in your videos, you give so much, like you don't want to give. You give so much. How to say, wise. You give so much good stuff there. Of course, the English is not my first language, so it's so hard to speak in English to explain some stuff. But when you talk, I'm learning so much, and I'm writing down some stuff, so I can implement in my real life conversation. And it's very wise, and I really respect your job because of that. What do you want to talk now? Let's finish with the donation because we can talk till tomorrow.
Yeah. So we'll finish up with the donations. Again, I posted that link in the stream here. So if you guys are interested now, or you're just tuning in, scroll up and you can see that wallet address, and you can send something over there, BNB or BUSD, whatever. I'll send some later, and we'll probably make this a regular thing. That way we can help as many people as possible, and I'll share Phil's videos of the kids we're helping and all that stuff. So we'll blend that over. But let's go back and talk about what you just referenced a second ago, which was the FTX debacle. I think the FTX thing is, they're really trying to make it seem like this is a crypto thing and give crypto a bad name, when really the whole FTX thing was centralized. This was a centralized company. This guy was pulling the strings, and it was just a full-on fraud. And so, when some people look at, I think we're getting to a point where most of us want docs to devs. Forex would probably be the exception, but most of the time it's like, we want to make sure we don't get scammed. Let's make sure these are real people and they've got to come in front of us. But it does show us that when things are centralized, even if you're doxxed and you're out there and you're putting out Super Bowl commercials, you can still be scamming people on the back end. And that's the one thing, is the one thing that you can't fake is the blockchain, all the transactions on the blockchain. And I think the FTX debacle, even though they're making it seem like crypto is at fault here, it really just makes a better and stronger case every day for decentralized finance, for closed loop systems that are, fully functional and can't be interrupted, and all the transactions are verified so you can see what's going on. So I'm just interested to get your thoughts a little bit on FTX and what happened, and just a little bit of feedback on that.
FTX, I think I really like CZ, to be honest. Even they're trying to put him down today. It was yesterday actually. I did a video that FTX, I didn't know. I follow a few YouTubers who did like deep into, like even this who I don't like, BitBoy was whatever was his name. He went to chase him over there. I think I like him for this. I didn't like him from before. He was like scamming people. Doesn't matter.
For sure. Yeah.
So I did not know that they are so much connection. Like this guy, I don't think he's by himself. There's so many other stuff behind him, and I don't think he's trying to be like he is full, but he is a brain. This guy have some brain to do this stuff. And like with that girlfriend, I lost some trades. You playing with people life money. Billion, how many? 60 billion was lost. We're talking about billions. I think there's so many also in the US, like government, all inside. I think so much into, like so much like web, I think it's much, much bigger than all we can think about. If one guy only go in jail, that's embarrassing. They should go so many people in jail. It will be so. And why they let him to stay for 2 weeks out, just like there, to eat sandwiches and go on the beach? It's like, why?
He's like, doing interviews. He's on the beach doing interviews. He's going on all these shows and doing interviews, and I don't understand it. And it's weird because if you're Sam Bankman-Fried and you have the most expensive attorneys out there, why wouldn't these guys be telling you, like, don't do any talking on the media? You're gonna trap yourself. So it all sort of seems like a bit of a setup. I mean, a lot of this money was a lot of shady stuff, I guess, has gone on with this money. We sent a ton of money to Ukraine. Ukraine put a bunch of money in FTX. FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried donated a bunch of money to both political parties here. There's definitely more going on, and a lot more people should go down, because there were some really, really big names in this. And a lot of pros have come on and said, hey, if you were even halfway auditing this stuff, you'd be like, this doesn't make any sense. This is pure fraud. So I don't know what the regulators were doing, but they were allowing one of the biggest Ponzi schemes ever. And it seems like, everyone was in on it. And Sam Bankman-Fried doesn't really seem ultimately that scared. So I think there's a lot of names that are probably involved and may get a slap on the wrist. And the people that will get hurt worst are just all the investors. That's
the biggest issue. What's happened? Look, this year has been so crazy. Celsius, we have Voyager, we have what was the other one? Celsius, Voyager, Terra Luna.
Terra Luna,
we're talking about billions of money lost. That is so sad. I know a guy, he lost in Terra Luna $70,000. 70,000. Oh my God. You don't expect that. And then still I will go for one of my favorite guy from Hex, Richard Hart. Not your crypto, not your keys, not your crypto, and simple as that. I have 3 ledgers. Look at that. I have 3 ledgers. Where are they? Right here. 3. 1, 2, and I have a black, red, blue.
There you go. Yeah.
Just to know, it's like, this is not a joke. This is not a joke, because I was scammed. I was my account was hacked, and I didn't know. I don't know what's revoke. I didn't know what's, and I did a couple of videos, and I definitely need to do once a month, just 5 minutes video, how to revoke, how to disconnect, stay safe. I think we all need to do that. All the YouTubers to be a habit. Even I don't do that very often, but I'm trying like to have different accounts just to use for everywhere. And I have like one account for Drip, one account for like Piston, one account for Furio, one account for just one account for one bigger project when investing more money, and one account for play around, something like that. Regarding to go back to the FTX, I think now this was happening with Binance. It's all a big BS, and I think they're just trying to give them back because I think, like you say, it's so much big fish going on behind here, and they're trying to, and like even how centralized are all these New York Times and wherever they did, like when they did interview for this girl for his girlfriend. Oh, she was just mistake. She did miss like I'm sorry. She need to be in jail right away.
Yeah.
It's like,
I mean, it's
oh
outright
man.
fraud. They were taking investor deposits and moving it over to support the trading that was going south. I mean, that's just a misappropriation of funds, and that's clear fraud. Like they should go to prison for that. Like it couldn't be any clearer. So I'm wondering what kind of hoops they're going to jump through to try to pass this off as something. And Sam Bankman-Fried is a really sharp guy, but he has, even in all the interviews, I don't know if he's trying to dumb himself down, and because he just says really simple stuff like, oh, I just had no idea what was going on. He seems like he's lost. I wasn't involved in a lot of that day to day. I don't believe any of that at all. So I don't know what role he's trying to play there, but it's it's not good. I mean, I think it goes deeper, and I don't know if he's the patsy here, and he really isn't that sharp, and they were just trying to set him up so they could wreck crypto and then turn everyone on to a central bank digital currency where, hey, if the US government or if these governments aren't involved with it, it's probably going to crash just like FTX. So let us take care of it and take care of you, which, as we know, governments are just corrupt all the time. Doesn't matter at what level you're at, there's corruption inside the government. And I think they let this one go.
What was that quantity of easing? The new modern terminology for printing money is like it's just crazy. Listen, crypto is here to stay. Simple as that. Now, I think this was also one of the big reasons to bring some regulation down. To bring the hammer down. They just waiting for things to happen like this, and on purpose. Of course, they're helping. And then now they say Binance scamming people, criminals. I think, come on. But like CZ is the, I think for me, CZ is the man at the moment. If Binance go down today, I freak out. I had a lot of BUSD safe on the site for the stable fund V2 because I'm going there, and then I say, oh no, BUSD. Now if that had unpacked, I think all the market will crash. So I put in the UTC, USDT. I don't even know where to put. I'm scared. Like USDT is all shaking. USDC is like. I don't know. I really I'm trying to spread everywhere, and it's just crazy times we're living. I think we're living in crazy times. 10 years, like 5 years even from now, when they put some regulation, don't have all this crazy stuff, and we're not going to be able to make money like this.
You won't be able to make as much money, and that's what I tell people. It's the Wild West. You can get scammed, like you said. You get accounts hacked. You're just paying for that learning, right? You get 5,000 wiped out here. You get wrecked in a bunch of miners. You get scammed. These are all the lessons that you need to learn. It's just a nasty way to do it. But eventually you get smart, you start using your ledgers, you start understanding which projects to go in and which ones not to, and how to move your money around if stuff looks shaky. You start to learn. But now is the opportunity. I think in 5 years, people are going to look back and be like, you were in DeFi in 2021, 2022. Like, wow, what was that like? I think people will say that. Same thing. People are like, oh, you were in Bitcoin 10 years ago. Like, that's crazy. Where'd you even buy it and all that? So I think in 5 years, people are going to look back, and this is going to be like the start of DeFi that everyone knows, the foundation, and everyone will wonder what it was like when it was back in the wild, wild west. But now I think what people need to understand is there's a lot of it's like walking through a minefield. There's a lot of dangers in the space that we're in. It's very high risk, but the high risk space, and when you get in early where you don't know really what's going to happen, that's when people make the most money. If you got into Bitcoin 10 years ago, it was hard to find. You had to be like kind of a tech nerd to be able to go in and actually purchase that stuff, because you couldn't just go to Coinbase and put in your debit card or whatever. It wasn't like that back then. So now, same thing with DeFi. DeFi is a little more challenging. You got to set up your MetaMask wallet and hopefully connect with Ledger and transition out of a few different tokens and bridge stuff over, and then you can finally get in. It's troublesome, but in all that trouble and all that risk and the challenges, that's where most of the money that's made. So all the people accumulating right now and accumulating assets, in the next bull run, and the people who pick the right DeFi projects in the next bull run, tons of money will be made. But eventually, very soon, regulation will happen and it will squeeze those margins, and so you won't be able to make quite as much.
I totally agree. I think there's so many, even now there's so many projects, I'm going in because I'm going everywhere. Like I'm pretty much going so many projects. I don't, if I make video for everybody, for all of them, I don't have the time for like 2 videos a day. Sometimes I lost, sometimes you make money, but overall just spreading that's me. That's how I play the game. That's how I learn. It's good to play the game, especially if I know the devs before. Okay, I have a question for you right there from Chloe. Scott, what is your favorite 3 DeFi project?
Ooh, my favorite 3 at the moment.
Be honest.
Yeah, so right now, my favorite 3, honestly, even though Furio's on the ropes, I actually think the stuff that they're doing is going to make it bounce back, and I think they've bought themselves enough time to get out of the bear market, and I think they'll do a lot better in the bull market. Their bot trading for their Fur bot is turning around. It's posted some pretty good profits, so it's working its way back up. I think that's going to settle in. They got a bunch of money piled away, sticking in the LMS. They're going immutable, I think, tomorrow, so the contract will be locked. If buying pressure comes in, it will sell all the tokens from the LMS, and then the price could go up. So the price could go to whatever. It'll be basically like there's no LMS. So you're not trapped at that, dollar price. So I think some of the stuff that they've done, they bought themselves a good amount of time. So I'm still bullish on that one. So that I actually really like that project. And I think over time it'll make good money. It won't make lottery money like Drip has the ability to, if Drip goes to $20 or whatever, but it'll be a good solid income and a good ROI. So that's one of them. Drip, of course, even though Drip's down in price, I mean, everything's down in price in crypto in the DeFi space. I think it's just we've waited a long time to get utility out of for Drip, because Forex has been so concerned with getting the animal farm set up. But I do think that in the spring and after the first of the year, the introduction of the scratch tickets with Scratchy, layer 2, all this additional stuff will actually add utility for Drip, and I think Drip will bounce back nicely. I don't know that it'll go to $50 or anything like that, but we get Drip back up to $5 or $10, and that's really good money when you have a larger wallet. So I'm excited about that. And then my third, and it's definitely last but not least, is the animal farm. The animal farm is just a rock solid platform. It's fully functional. It doesn't really need anything else to survive. I think Drip needs the animal farm to survive. I don't think the animal farm needs Drip to survive. So fully functional yield farm. You can stake your assets, get a really good yield. I mean, super safe, immutable, non-custodial. So you actually still own your crypto. So in general, I think that's probably the strongest of all of them. It's the lower yielding one. It's not going to make you insane money, but it's going to make you solid, safe returns over time. So I think that'll get huge in 2023, 2024. Those are my top 3 right now. How about you?
I will tell you mine. Yeah. Before I forget my question, do you invest in different projects?
I do. Yeah.
What other project you in?
I've been in a bunch of different projects. I've been in a bunch of different miners. I got into Piston, I got into Ooze, I've got into a bunch of stuff over time. And some of them, most of them have got wrecked. You know what I mean? I invested in a ton of miners in the last year, and they were churning out pretty decent money for me. I would lose a bunch of money on some of them, but make more on others. And so it's just all the timing, so I'm in a handful of projects. I'm down to probably, like, I'm in Cairo. I'm down to probably 5 or 6 that I'm still kind of claiming from. But yeah, I'm not in everything. And for me, the reason for that is a couple of things. One, I don't have a lot of time, right? I own a business where I do a lot of consulting, and anyway, my workload's super high. So I feel like if I can't spend enough time to learn the project fairly well, I don't want to articulate it to somebody else and try to bring them in, or, but if I were ever to get a little more time, I'd probably dive into a few more projects and just let people know, hey, this, it's risky, but we're going to roll the dice on this one and try some different projects out. Because I think I mean, rough time right now in a crypto bear market. But I think in a lot of these projects, especially the newer ones, I think the devs are getting better and better. They're learning from their mistakes. And I think there's a lot of talented devs in the space. They may not get everything right. I mean, and some of their projects may fail, but if I relate it kind of to like a business, in business, most of the people that are truly successful have failed a few times. I think even Mark Cuban, I think, tanked his first business, and a handful of other legendary investors. They tried 4, 5, 6 businesses before they came up with the idea that really worked. So to discount people and say, hey, these devs are terrible because they tried a project and it ended up failing, they may come back and put something together that's really good. You learn from every mistake. So I think of some of these projects like businesses, and I think some of these guys are actually really talented devs, and we just need more projects to survive to get DeFi a better name. Because right now, if you go and do a bunch of Google searches, all these daily ROI protocols, and really even just a lot of like yield farms and stuff in crypto, they're all failing. And so the sentiment is don't touch those. You're going to lose your money. We need more projects to survive and thrive. So people look at DeFi and go, okay, this is a viable way to make money. Sure, it's higher risk, but half of projects are failing instead of 99%. You know what I mean? So I think that's where we're at.
I think regarding your question where I invest, what I find right now is where we can make money. So I will tell you where I'm making money. At the moment, the most printer for me, I think I did very, very good. I'll tell you for this year, I'm doing a video, my biggest project for this year. Biggest project, it was a project called The Garden. The Garden, you don't know, it was a miner. I put $200. I pull out 20,000 in 2 weeks. That was January. Wow. In December, I got racked. Me and all the team, we got around 15 racks in 2 weeks. 15 times, 15 projects. Last December we get hammered.
Yeah.
And I put in my Telegram, no more notes node. It was notes. No more note, no more this, no more that. Done. And the Garden come up. It was a joke. And I said, I would just put like half a BNB or whatever. I put $200. And then I got miner, and the miner come up, and I get in, and it was 0.05 cents. In 5-6 days time, few YouTubers did a video, and everybody jumped in. It was the one of its kind, its own token, own miner, and some other project, and went the price from 5 cents to $28. It was like I was a day. Sometimes it's going to pay me $4,000. I was compound, of course. I cannot sell them because I would drop the price down. The liquidity was low, and I make 20,000. And I start the things, that was one of the biggest printer. Then my diamond team was absolutely a beast for me. I'm talking about myself because I know the team. I love the team. I ate heavy from the start, compound like crazy. I have a couple of accounts, compound like crazy. I also got some referrals, and I used that referrals to help other people. And then I compound a lot. And that was also a big thing. My diamond team was my second one. My third one was drip. I make a good money on drip overall because I went into drip the second week. I went into drip when the price was between $4 and $7. It was my bond.
Oh wow!
But listen, I wasn't buying thousands. I was buying like 20 drip, 10 drip, 5 drip. I don't have the money in that time when I was investing. And then I was under Jamie, the YouTuber, and he sent me one time 100 drip airdrop. I was one of the 100 drip, and that time was cost like $200. I say, oh my God, I have 300 drip, now I have 400 drip, and I was compounding. Sometimes buy, and then I was selling $10 because I need the money, and I was selling $10, $11. And now I don't have max account. I have like 6,000 tokens in one account, and the second one I have 1,500, like 8,000 tokens. But, drip, I'm doing the same. 4 days compound, 3 days profits, or opposite. It depends how is the price. More go down, more compound, more go up, sometimes sell. Because I believe, I understand that DeFi, like you say, it's a risky space, and most of the project die. However, there's money to be made, and if at least the developers, they will don't rag, they will be there. The project will stay there. So the most project for me at the moment, also, stable fund. I make so much money there. Stable fund. I know I should claim more, but I put a big chunk. I don't know why. I believe the guy. I called the guy, and I didn't call. I leave him voice chat. I told him, Michael, listen, I'm going to go heavy here. I'm going to get out. I'm going to kill this project. No, he's Phil. This is real. Okay, that's all. I said, okay, I don't want to know anything else. That's all. And I put big chunk. In 3 months, I 3x my money. And I pull off. And then I was making good money. I was making good money, and I was take profits, compound, take profits, compound, take profits. And I succeed very well. Now V2 coming, I hope I'll get some money. I know so much skeptical people and all this stuff, but that's me. Now I'm playing with bank money. That's the goal for me. Go there, try to compound and play with bank money. So the printer for me now is Farm of Fortune. I really like that developer, Craig. Oh man, he is amazing. I don't know what he's doing. He's going so many farms, but they're already 3,500 BNB invested, 2% a day. It's like ROI dub, but he's using the money, and this will be the first zero Ponzinomic project. He's using the money to farm in very crazy farms. He's making money, and he's bringing back. Now, at the moment, even if you go now, you still can ROI your money in 50 days. That's how much money they have. Because, so it's been, Chloe, do you know how many days it is? I forgot. I think it's like, because she's heavy into there. I think it's already 60 days, 70 or maybe 3 months.
I think.
When they hit 200 days, Binance going to make a big announcement for them, the first zero Ponzinomic. Can you believe that? That's would be crazy. Yeah. Now Richie, Crypto Richie, they coming with a new project. They doing same collaboration, but this will be USDC 1% a day. Okay, so if they can provide, if they can provide with 2% a day at the moment, but it's a little bit hard. They say easy they can provide 1%, and I'm going heavy there. I know Richie is not going to rock. I know Crack is not going to rock, and I'm going heavy there. I'll put big chunk, and every 30 days they will pay you. So if you put, I don't know, 15K, you get 45K every first of the month. And I believe up to 300%, 400%, I don't know. And I think that's going to happen. I truly believe. What else? PGV. This project, 2% a day. I don't know what trades they're showing, 8%, 7%. I put big chunk, and I did the same. I'm compounding. I just doubled my money 2 days ago. I doubled my money. So I'm going to request my refund this Friday. I'm going, and I put like inside 15,000. Now I have 30,000. So I'm doing the same with almost every project. Now I double my money, and now I'm playing with the bank money from next week. That's about it. Take off my money and then put in different project and so on. So this is also, I like Furio. To be honest, I love Furio. We all get very, I was pissed and angry and emotional. Of course, I overreact on my first video after that. And that's okay. That's expected. I know you wait a couple of days, and then when you post your video, they did some announcement. I know. And then your video was so long, and then you say, oh no, I just did a video like 1 hour, and now you changed so many stuff. Like, come on. Furio, I think, so as I read in our chat over there, they say they have sales around 10, 12,000 a day at this stage. We're talking about, I did the math, simple, 10, 12,000 a day. We're talking about easy 365 days if everybody just claimed. No sales. Easy.
It's more than 300 days that they've got liquidity. So if everyone just claimed, that buys them. That's what makes me feel confident. Like, okay, the price is only 90 cents right now. But they've got a lot of time to get their Furify thing out, to get the bot back profitable. They've bought themselves a ton of time, and to hopefully get us through the crypto winter, which nothing's going to happen good. No project's going to just all of a sudden really thrive through the winter. But as soon as spring starts to come around, maybe the sentiment and the economy and everything changes, we could start seeing, at least leveling out, which is great for crypto. Sideways is great for crypto and DeFi. As long as things aren't plummeting, we're fine if we just take some time to accumulate at the bottom and then work our way back up. So yeah, I'm with you. I think one thing that people need to take from what you just said is, I think it's important if you can, because I'm a big compounder too. I just like, once I get it in there, like I'm really more interested in making a larger sum of money. I don't want to necessarily turn 1,000 into 2,000. Like I'm looking for a larger sum if I can. So I'm trying to compound for long periods of time. But I think what you said is, you want to get yourself in a position where you can take enough profits back to where you're playing with house money. You put 2,000 in, you've got your 2,000 back, and then you can do what they call a moon bag, right? To where you can keep compounding that, and then if the price ever goes up a ton or everything really goes wild, then you've made a really good amount of money, and you've been doing it with house money.
Yeah, I totally agree. And in the last project, I went into some crazy project. I don't even mention them. Very risky. I don't mention them. But it's paying 3% a day. I don't know. It's paying. It's like, how the heck is paying and showing trades is so risky. I don't even mention.
Yeah.
Piston. I like Piston now with the boosters because I
Yeah.
really respect that team. Piston team I respect. Furio team I respect. I really like that teams, to be honest. They're right there. When I ask them, they're coming back to me. Even Michael from Stable Fund, if I ask him something, he'll come back next day to me. He will answer to me. I like that. I say, Michael, what about this? Who is this guy? What's happened with that? Where is this shit change? He'll come back to me. He will try to explain me. I say, okay, let's do AMA. He said, okay, Piston, let's do AMA. Yeah, no problem. Piston at the moment is printing for me with these boosters. I got like a couple of accounts with boosters. I have three accounts. It's like, I'm happy. I'm very happy. I hope to last $2. I don't know how long it's going to last at $2.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's again. I'm over ROI. I did already 4x in Piston, and I cannot complain. I like why to complain? Even whatever the price. Furio, I did ROI twice, 2x, no 3x actually. I'm happy. I'm happy everywhere at the moment. Touch wood. Sometimes I lose. Oh, Crypto Holger, thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kulis. He's doing a crazy videos.
He's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you, man. I really like the Furio team. I talk to one of the Chris's quite a bit, a couple times a week, and he's a stud. Anytime I have a question, and I've been harsh with him, I told him, hey, didn't like how that last article was written that I referenced in my long video, and a few things. So I'm fine, and they're good taking criticism. I mean, they realize it. Like, you can't do everything perfect all the time, and so sometimes people make mistakes. And even though I think they did pretty much all they could to get it right, just a bunch of challenging circumstances, sometimes maybe they could have been communicated a little bit better about why they were doing what and who was really to blame and all that type of stuff. So I was pretty critical about that, but they took it like men, and I think that's good. I've always liked the Piston team. I don't know that I'll ROI there, because once I started claiming, I compounded for 5 months or whatever, and then they started having all those issues, and then they put that major tax on to claim if you've got like a backlog, and so I may need to do the booster to get myself boosted up to try to ROI there. But I do really like that team, and I think especially the design and everything. I mean, that was one of the best designed protocols in DeFi. I really liked the Ooze team. I mean, I think a lot of these guys are honest. They're just trying to figure out something to to make it click. So I think it would be great if some of these guys who have had some issues would start to communicate with each other a little bit better. DeFi and crypto is so tribal. Everyone's like, if you like one project, you can't like any other ones. You can only like the project that I'm in because it's the king. I don't feel like that. I want people to make money in whatever projects they're in. If you're in a miner and you're killing it, then good for you. Like, it doesn't mean that it's better or worse than the miner I'm in. I don't need to try to bring you down to make myself feel better. So I think that's one of those things that I think people need to get better at in DeFi. Be adults about stuff and hope more projects actually win. It's not always this project is the killer of this project or whatever. I just think that's a whole lot of nonsense. I'm interested to hear your thoughts on that, because I've been pretty vocal about it, about infighting between different projects. And I know that you're involved in a lot of projects, and you're in some of these chats with me where there's a bunch of people in one chat, talking trash about another project, and the same thing in the other chat. And I'm interested to hear your thoughts on this tribalism in DeFi.
Yeah. Yes, I heard your video about that. Actually, that was very good explanation, how you explained that the people cannot be just focused on one thing. And one of the community, I don't mention who, I know they are very vocal, only this project and nothing else, everything is trash. And I agree with you 120%. Don't be stupid. Go everywhere. It's the same like when you do have Bitcoin, or do you have Bitcoin and like 20 other coins? You cannot just have Bitcoin. That's according to me, I think it's very dumb. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's like, but that's me. I think, and that's the only way. What about if I was stuck in only one miner? Like you say, I was in 20 miners. I was in 40 miners in that time. 40,
Yeah.
20 of them make me a lot of money, 20 of them none. But that 20 make me 3x, 4x money,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think we are here together. It's a crypto space. At the moment, it's very small. How many we
Tiny.
are? 100,000 people, maybe? People saying a million.
In DeFi in general, I think there's maybe total 1 million people in DeFi, and that's
But not
tiny.
but not in DeFi. We are in very risky DeFi space. We talk
Yeah.
about DeFi. You talk about DeFi like a Pancake Swap or maybe
Yeah.
like some big
True.
exchanges. You talk about that. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the real DeFi. Where we are. I
Yeah.
think the biggest community at the moment have drip over 100,000 wallets,
Yeah.
135. But
Yeah.
everybody have a couple of wallets. I
Yeah.
reckon we are less than 100,000 people.
Yeah.
Let's say 100,000 real people we are stuck in one to another project and third project and four. And I think we must support each other. Like you say, if you make money I'm not in animal farm, I'm just invest a little bit in animal. But if you make money, I'm so happy. Go and make money. The
Yeah.
same, like I have so many people feel I'm making money here. Let's say, you know what? If you make money, go and share with somebody. Don't forget that. Great.
Yeah.
Take little profit and go and share with somebody, because that's what stay in your life. But that's great. I'm happy if you make money. But if you find out something dodgy, tell me so we can tell everybody, so we know it's something dodgy with this project.
Yeah.
Like and that's why, like, we have True Secrets now. So I hope True Secrets is going to help us a lot. Of course, it's not 100% secure, but at least, because there's still a lot of scammers out there. And I agree, we must support each other. Talking trash for different projects, you can talk in DM one-to-one, like me and you, we chatting for
Yeah.
chat for some, but in big conversation, like in making video for different projects, like talking, you can give your objective, but not
Yeah.
talking shit about, except if they really deserved, if they're Iraq and something like. But
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair enough. I don't think we must support each other. That's about it. Like, again, more project. If everybody make money, that's mean more money for everybody. This mean next project will have more money. And also us, I highly love that people. I very sad what's happened. I also the Bandit project. I'm there. The Bandit project, man. I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm compounding 5 days, 2 days a week. I'm taking profits. I'm making 50 quid a week, 60 quid a week. Who give you that money? No one.
Yep. Yeah, that's at least something. Yeah, I agree. We need to support each other a little bit better. It's a really small community, and just because you're in one project doesn't mean you can't support another one. I don't understand that. And there's even people that bring projects to me that I'm like, too risky. I'm not getting into it, but I hope they make money. And that's it. I mean, I've probably been in at least 20 different miners, and I've lost money on 15, 16 of them. But the few that have done well, I've made money on. So I'm net ahead. So if you were to say, yeah, just only get involved in one project, like, we got to try different things, and we got to stop pretending that there's not other talent in the space. Like, you can't just pick one dev and be like, that's the only guy that knows what he's doing. There's certainly devs that are a lot better than others and have better vision, but there's teams that are better than others too, and so as a whole, they're really solid. So I think we need to realize that as time goes on, there's going to be really solid groups that come together of dev teams and put out really good projects. And so you can, and if you put some money in there, you may make really good money, and it may be around for a long time, and they may be doing new and innovative stuff too. So if you're only tied to one project, and that is what it is, you can't expect people to say, I think a lot of these people are saying, well, hey, if all that money just went into my one project, then the price would be so much higher. Like, you can't expect people to do that. It's like the stock market. People are going to invest in different asset classes and different, types of investments, and they're going to spread their money around. And some of them aren't going to do very well, and some of them are going to do really well. So you can't put all your eggs in one basket. I'm a big fan of picking the couple projects that you really feel the strongest about and putting most of your money there. Maybe 70% of your money are in those projects that you really, really feel good about, and then sprinkling the other 25-30% around to some of these new projects that you're not quite sure on. You're trying to learn them. It's part of the learning process. You got to learn how different ROI protocols work and different crypto projects. And there's a lot of people even in here that are in Hex and really like Hex and have made good money there. They're interested in Pulse Chain, all this different stuff. It's okay to spread your money out. Try to make the best decisions you can. But if you're people that are in your group decide that they want, or in your community decide that, hey, they want to test out some new project, why would you talk trash about them? Let them go and take that risk, and hopefully they make really good money, and maybe they'll bring some of that money back into the ecosystem, and maybe they'll go help people. I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand why it's a bad thing when crypto is a solo sport. So if they want to go and try and make money over there, if they lose money, that's on them. If they make money, good for them. I guess I just don't understand what all the clashing of heads is. Seems really immature to me, and I hope it stops, because like you said, we got 100,000 people. We're a tiny group, and if we can make it through this and all get along fairly well, and we get back into a bull market again, all 100,000 of us are going to be the ones that make really good money. And like I said, in 5 years, you're going to look back like, wow, you were in DeFi way back then. And, we'll all have tremendous amount of money if we can make it as a community through this bear market and back into the next bull. Because I think especially these projects right here that we're in, they'll do much, much better in a bull market. And the money you think you're making now will be 10 or 20x what it is.
Yeah, I think that's a very, very good say. I don't even fix anything. I'm just checking the chat. Crypto Conrad says he's a YouTuber. Nice to see you, Crypto Phil. Yeah, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, don't forget to like, subscribe my channel. Also,
yeah.
You have a question
I'll make
for
sure.
you.
I probably didn't do a very good job. I should have put your link in the description below, but I'll make sure that I link it up to your channel.
That's okay. No worries.
Easy to find too, but I'll add it to the video after, so everyone who's not live can watch it, can click down below, and I'll also add in the address and everything, because people may not be able to see the chat when they rewatch the video. So I'll make sure that that's in there for the charity stuff.
You have a question?
Yep.
Yeah, XRP and one more for some projects. For XRP, you answer. I don't know.
I think I don't follow super closely, but I've been watching it for a little while. I think they will settle this week. I think this was another crypto witch hunt. So I think this is going to get sorted out. That's just my personal opinion, just from the stuff I've read and the clips I've watched. I think this is all going to end up getting sorted out. I'm interested. I used to own a big bag of XRP, and I bought that back in, 2017, 2018. And I eventually sold most of it. Once they started, I don't know if I forget what it was, whatever legal issues, whatever indictment, when that happened, I sold the rest of it and moved it over into something else, because I just figured it would be a while before they recovered. And obviously it kind of has been, but a lot of people, think XRP is going to go to the moon. And so it may be a time to accumulate a little bit of that, because if everything gets sorted out for them, I could end up being a really promising crypto.
Can you bring can you think if this is settled down and XRP start the bull market a little bit?
Oh yeah, it could boom. And with these tokens that are a few cents, anything under $1, if you put $100 in or $1,000 in, when they boom, you can get really rich. I mean, a lot of people in Hex, they put $1,000 in and they made tremendous money on it, and it changed their lives. I mean, even some big crypto names, I think like Thomas G. I'm pretty sure Thomas G.
Yeah.
I don't know that he had made a ton of money before then, or he was like really affluent, but I know that he put some chunks in and gambled on Hex and made really good money, and then of course rolled that to Drip and made really good money. But I think he would say, and a lot of these guys, like, it changed their life. I think Stona Breezy too, same thing. I think he made his first real big bag in crypto off of Hex. So that can happen overnight. And if you're smart, as soon as you make that big bag, then now you have $100,000, $200,000, $300 in capital that you can put into other projects, and you can make a lot more money that way, especially like on these miners. If you can go in with 10, 15, 20 BNB, you can make good money real fast. If you're just trying to trickle it in 0.1 BNB and, trying to make money, it's harder to make money in the miners. So I think, and I'm hoping that some of the projects that we're investing in now in the bull or in the bear market boom as we start to move into the bull market, and people have good chunks of capital, and then they're smart with that capital. They reinvest it into promising projects, and they do well, and they don't squander it. So I'm hoping that's the case.
Yeah, I'm sad I miss Hex. I put some money into I sacrificed for Pulse chain was probably coming in 2030.
Yeah, right.
But yeah,
Yeah.
like when. But yeah, Thomas G and Stana, they made a lot of money. I know now. I'm trying to get into also, just to go back a little bit to the project. I think it's a guy. I'm not sure if you know. It's a George. He's a great developer, and he have an audit company. It's called George Stump. And then they're coming also with some project. And I'm going to also jump in there. I'm going to make some video, I guess, in a couple of days. But like you say, diversify your portfolio. Like I'm going, all these developers who I know, and I wish, like you just to go back, they collaborate together. That's what I really wish. They collaborate and they bring things together. They make some things and they make even stronger, and they blow up both of the projects.
Yeah.
I can just I wish. I think that's happening slowly by slowly. Sometimes
Yeah.
we can see some collaboration. What is good to see. Something will stay, something will go down, but it is what it is. And please don't forget to follow. Yeah, it was a question for you. What other blue chip coins you like?
Yeah, let me bring this one up real quick.
Yeah, there we go.
Man, you were just saying something. I lost my train of thought. I had a good comment back, but let's hit this one first. So, what other blue chips do I like? So, my favorite blue chips. I mean, I'm always going to like Bitcoin. I think that one is going to stand the test of time. So, I think there's no issues, especially at these prices. I do think Bitcoin will be back in the next couple of years up to 100,000. I think the next rally will be higher. We'll see another higher high. So if you buy right now, could we see a 8x or 10x in Bitcoin? Absolutely. So that could be a really good investment. It's harder for people to get into because it's still 17,000 or something like that a token. So it's it's a little bit expensive for entry level people to get in, but 10x is 10x. So whether you put $100 in or $10,000 in, it's still going to end up for the same percentage increase. So I'm always going to like that one. My favorite blue chip is BNB. I'm with you. Like CZ, I think, is the guy that has his head screwed on the straightest. I think all the recent FUD over the last couple of days about him, I think, is going to go by the wayside. I don't think Binance is going to fail, and I do think that we really have the customer assets that they say are actually there. So I think Binance is going to be the last one to go. So BNB is my favorite. Transaction fees are low. They work really well for DeFi projects and smart contracts, just all that type of stuff. So BNB is definitely by far my front runner. And then I still like Ethereum. My issue with Ethereum, of course, is just fees. It's just really expensive to do transactions on Ethereum, and so I shy away from it a little bit. That would be a blue chip, but just buy and hold. I hate having to transfer any funds around. Back when NFTs were hot, I was buying and selling NFTs, and I remember sometimes I'd be buying $1,000 NFT, and the fee would be $300, in gas fees, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. So that really actually kind of turned me off to Ethereum. But there's a few others out there that I think that maybe can be big. Matic, I think Matic will do really well over time. There's a few others. So I'm just in the process of kind of accumulating little bits of those here and there, just in case they go wild on the next boom. But I also really am enjoying even though it's passive, I'm enjoying the active nature of all these DeFi projects,
No, I agree. I think there are so many tokens. I'm just checking the coin market cap.
Yeah.
I'll scroll down. I will let you know what I'm investing now. I think I'm investing in a lot. However, of course, I like Bitcoin, but I don't have Bitcoin a lot. I invest most of my money is invested everywhere in DeFi projects, so I can make more money. And now slowly, but exactly, because a lot of people just buying. I say, listen, first I need to make my base. That's how I'm thinking. Make your base strong and nice, and then have some money coming in. And then what I'm doing now from next year, hopefully, I will do 60, 20, 20. So from all the money, let's say I make $1,000 this month. Okay. I will take 60% compound back to different DeFi project, 20% for some tokens, and then 20% take for home for living, So I'm buying now. I like Ethereum, to be honest. I'm not using it all, but I like it. I don't because of the fees. Next one, BNB, definitely. We go Cardano. Polygon will be the beast. Dot, not bad. Solana is dead, not dead, but maybe maybe Shiba can do a little bit, a couple of X, you never know. What's called Link, I like Link. Cosmos is good. I like it. Let's go next one. Ape, I don't like Ape. Near Protocol, that's a good one. Also, I really like Elron. Elron, I think will be the beast. Elron, I think, is a good one. What else? Oh, Sand. I think that can be a good one. What else? Phantom. I think Phantom now with the new, hopefully with the guy coming back and all this stuff, can bring something. Cake, because of the BNB, of course. What else? Mina is a good one. Mina can surprise you. It's the smallest blockchain there. That can surprise you. Okay, again, not financial advice, anything here, guys, just my thoughts. That's about it for now. I think that's what I'm buying at the moment, pretty much.
Yeah, I like most of those projects, and I do have a few of them. I do want to start doing the same thing, especially I think we're getting pretty close to the bottom here. So it's a good time to accumulate. And the nice thing is with some of these, like, I mean, I know some guys who made $1 million on Shiba, and they just put a small amount in. So the nice thing with some of these smaller tokens is you can really just throw in, $100 into 5 different projects that you feel like you really like. And there's a possibility you could get a 10x, 20x, 100x. So that's there. As long as you've done your research and you feel really strongly about it, then I don't think that's a bad way to go. I mean, a lot of this stuff is a bit of a moonshot, but that's kind of how it is in crypto. That once things take off, it's easy for things to do a 30x. I mean, just, like this. It's not the same in the stock market or some of these bigger investments. One small development or partnership can 10x the price overnight. So if you're involved in the right projects, you can make a ton of money.
I completely agree. Look what's happened with me, like with, I think we're almost at the end. Look what's happened with me with ADA. I know 2-3 cents and then went to $2. That's like ADX, like Matic Terra, Matic ADA, and also I forget the name. It's did like one of them did 100x. I put $100 worth 10,000 or $100, but I invest in over 70 tokens. 40 of them dead, zero. But one of like 5-6 of them make up for all my investments. Like they did 4 or 5. Like I told you, I put 10K overall. They become 2,000. From 2,000, they become around 50,000, 45,000. That's what's like, wow. And then I started investing in all these crazy farms. So guys, be careful.
You got to be involved in a lot of stuff to see what's going to hit. You never know. I mean, even if you know the dev team really well, like just for instance, like the Ooze dev team is fantastic. They're great guys, and they did a really good job. That project just failed. But so even if you really feel like that's the one, if you put all your eggs in that basket and it doesn't go well, then you're in trouble. You may have to look around and find the projects you really want to be in. That's the tokens, but that's also DeFi protocols. Those are more active. Like we know, like I like to have my money working for me. So a lot of my money is in these DeFi protocols, just, and I like the learning process. Like I feel like if you can get this down with the DeFi and really understand the DeFi space, it's going to pay big time dividends over the next 5 years. So the people that are just kind of sitting on the sidelines and not getting involved and aren't actually doing the clicking of the buttons, that's where you learn. When transactions are failing and you got to figure out how to reset stuff and get it to go through, or you need to move from, bridge from one currency to another and try a different project or whatever. All that activity that you're doing is where you're actually learning. And so if you want to make big money over the next 5 years, I recommend putting some risk capital into some of these projects. Even if you don't have a ton, you got $500, you could put $100 in 5 different projects just to learn them. Assuming that you're going to lose the money, you're just paying for an education. At the end of it, I think you'll end up being in a lot better spot.
Yeah, I was going to mention there's a question from Chloe and you answer. I think when you have smaller amounts, like a couple of $100 only to play around, I think the best way to make some money, even if you go in ROI dApps, you cannot make even 1% a day. Even if it's pay a year, from 100 you'll make few hundred. I think the best one is to find some tokens, launching tokens. And I think we had a great dev. He's not with us anymore. Not dev, admin. He's not with us anymore. But he was finding some project, and they would do like 4, 5, 10x like in few hours. I hate that because I can never follow, but there are people who stay in the computer. I don't have the time like you, kids, family, real life, real work, and then that's the only way I think where you can shoot up from $100 to $1,000 in a day. 10x in one project,
Yeah.
but that's extremely risky. However, only risk capital. I think that's one of the ways. Otherwise, which like you can find like this one, like FOF or PGV, wherever they're paying 2% now. Chloe mentioned FOF start from beginning of October. So we talk about October, November, now December, 3 months. We're talking about almost, like 100 days almost. That's if you have a little bit more extra money, I think that's a project to go in. Like if you decide to DCA into, decide even if in Furio, if you think that's going to last for next year or a few months or wherever you think, crack on, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that's big. I think you're right. I think I started out when I just had a little bit of money, just buying a couple tokens, and that was like Bitcoin, and I was buying Ethereum, and then I figured out how to buy Litecoin, and then I figured out like Binance back then worked in the US, so I downloaded that, and I had another one, I forget what it was called, but I was able to buy a lot of smaller tokens and just test things out. And some of them made money, and a lot of them crashed. But I started to understand crypto and how to purchase and how to transfer things around. So that little bit of education helped a ton. So I bet most of these people who don't have a ton of money, the smaller guys, they might not know a ton about DeFi. I would say you're right. Probably find a few projects that you like and just throw a little bit of money in, and see if you can build some additional capital. And then once you have a decent little chunk of capital, then maybe try some of these ROI dApps. Or if you're really risk averse, some of these yield farms are great. They can pay you 100 or 200% APY. That's really good money. It's not gonna, you could turn 100 into 300. So if you only have a little bit of money, it's not tremendous, but your expectations need to match your deposits. So if you're coming in with $100, don't expect to turn it into $1 million, overnight, or even in just a couple months. It's going to take some time and moving your money around and picking the right projects. So I'd say be patient and make sure your expectations are matching how much you're putting in. But a lot of it is just taking money out of your paycheck and putting it into invest. I think a lot of people forget that they really should invest first, whether it's $10 or $100, whatever you can afford. You need to move some of that risk capital over and start investing, because you're never gonna make it sitting on the sidelines.
I agree with that 100%. One of your guys says skin in the game is the best way to learn.
Yeah.
You mentioned that. And also the guy Pro Hector, I guess. Sorry if I pronounced bad.
Pro Hector, yeah.
He says, check this out. I was mining Bitcoin from 2014 till 2020. And then he sold for Hex. I think that's like the two biggest investments you can do. Only two investments, and he settled for his life. Like crazy. Like 2 investments, and he retired. Look at that.
Yeah,
like, well done.
awesome.
Don't forget to help somebody, by the way. Just do something good. But that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Look, crypto. Like, crypto is beautiful and scary and danger, but I think it's one of the most amazing times we live. I think we are here. We witnessed the born of Bitcoin. In 20 years, like my kids, your kids will be like probably, hopefully using maybe not Bitcoin, but will be some different cryptocurrency, digital thing. People forgetting. First we had like checks. Then we have like, I mean, America you still have the checks. Then you have the bonds, checks. We don't have that stuff. Then you have the debit card. Now you pay with your phone, and then it's now you're transferring money, and now it's all now in Sweden they put the thing here, what's called the little, what I'm chip. They put chips and we pay with that, like crazy things like that. I'll never do that, but it's like the world go up, and I think we need crypto.
Yeah, we definitely need crypto. We need there to be a ledger of exactly what's happening with the transactions. I wish that our governments, I don't want our money to be attached necessarily to their money in the same way that they want to do a central bank digital currency. But I would love to see a digital transaction of where they're sending all our tax dollars, because they're sending it to other countries and everything. And if there was a digital ledger where you could go, how come all these transactions are being sent to all these other countries? It would be very apparent to people that our tax dollars are being squandered. So I think that'll be super helpful at some point when we get to that point. But of course, they're going to try to manipulate it and they're going to try to make a cryptocurrency where they can mint additional tokens whenever they want to, and just further devalue the currency like they're doing in every country, But
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Regarding the question,
yeah,
what I have, can I ask Phil? He mentioned the family with the 4 kids and one of the way. Yeah, I mentioned them. I lose contact with them 3 months ago. Very, very sad. I just lost track. I cannot give any advice. Sorry, I will just don't give any advice. And also, they live in the Philippines. They barely have money, and I would just don't recommend to put in crypto because it's too risky. It's just too risky. I think
yeah,
with very small amounts, you can't. You just don't even try. I think, yeah, it's extremely risky with very small
yeah.
amount.
Yeah, it's hard if that's all you have and you don't really have risk capital. It's hard to know what's going to be around here in 5, 6, 7 years. You really just don't know.
Well, I think that's the blue chip probably one of. I think in the top 10 probably they'll stay for the next few years. Definitely Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. I don't think
Yeah,
they'll go anywhere. I think
yeah,
Matic, AVAX, like Polygon, like all this. I think even Hex is here for the next 15 years, definitely.
yeah. I agree. Those are going to be solid. I'm interested to see. I'm interested to see what happens in the next bull run. I think it's probably the best time to be involved in crypto because there's a lot more transparency. I feel like you can really learn a lot about the projects. There's some really solid projects coming out, and people in the chat have been naming all these different projects that are awesome, even AVAX, and there's just a bunch I think that are out there that are solid. I think right now is the time to educate yourself, and it's one of the worst bear markets we've ever seen. So prices are really depressed. They could even go a little bit lower. So if you're sitting on the sidelines and you really have risk capital, now's the time to do a little bit of research, figure out what you want to get in and purchase, because in the next bull run, that's when everyone looks like a genius, when everything's going up. And a lot of those guys are going to buy when things are at 10,000, go to 15 and feel like a genius. Then it's going to come back down to 4,000, and that's just how it goes. These things go in cycles. Right now we are at the bottom, and this is the perfect time to buy when nobody wants to touch it. So, if you're sitting on the sidelines with risk capital, figure out the projects you want to be in over the next couple months. I think we've still got a little bit lower that we could go, but during the next bull run, if you've accumulated good assets, you're going to easily make 10x on your money. I mean, not financial advice, but that's what happens in crypto. Crypto, when it decides to turn around and rally, it goes off. And so you can be like Pro Hexer and be right on the edge of retirement or whatever. So you just got to pick the good projects, and that requires taking some risk. You got to risk some of that capital. You got to put it into different tokens, and you got to put it into different ROI dApps if you've got enough to make that money, or different yield farms. You got to have your money out there working for you. There's a lot of risk, but there's a tremendous upside if it ends up working out.
Yeah, I think also one of the best advice I can give, if you have little money, invest in yourself. Like that's one of the best advice. Like education, courses, learning, whatever you need. Like I have, I'm trying to try something with property here. I have 1-2 properties for renting, and I start that before crypto, and I start like going to free courses. They're free webinars, free courses.
Yeah.
Like, if everything is free, they ask you to get something to buy something, whatever.
Yeah.
But I went in and I lended money. I borrowed money and I bought a house. I had the balls to get money. I got my friend. I said, look, I need 20K to buy a house. He said, okay. I think not from one. I borrowed from 5 people. Nobody had 20K. And I get the money and I bought a house. And then I, not flip it, like fix it, rent it, whatever. And now I remortgage, get some cash and play back with interest rate. And now, and but I had the balls. And so that's mean education in yourself is one of the best investment you can do in your life for anything, not just crypto, anything in your life, whatever you decide to do.
Yeah, I think I get asked a lot, hey, what should I do? Such and such age or whatever. What should I do to be successful? What should I invest in? And my first question is always like, hey, what book are you reading? If they're like, well, I'm not really reading. I'm like, well, you got to start with just the building blocks, the simple stuff. Pick a book that inspires you, smash that out. That will help you get on to the next one. Then what online courses are you taking? What YouTube videos? I mean, there's so much information on YouTube. It's insane. You can follow a few different channels that just give you free education. I mean, almost all of the education that you're going to need out there, you can get for free. And the stuff you can't, maybe a $200, $300, $400 course. So people, I think, hesitate to educate themselves, or they think that only traditional education will get them somewhere. For me, my views on college or anything else is all that matters is that you're educated. I don't care where you got the education from. So people who work for me or whatever, I really don't care whether they have a degree or they don't have a degree. I want to know if they've educated themselves. If that person got out of high school and went and just, spent a bunch of time learning stuff through online courses, it's good enough. That education's just as powerful as someone who, went to college and got a degree in the subject. And then a lot of the hands-on stuff, there's a lot of people that have gone over and actually have had their hands on and been working on stuff, and they've got the real world experience. I like that better than I like any education, because they can actually apply it. So I think that's a big thing you nailed there, is people need to focus on educating themselves. And it doesn't have to be traditional education, but you always need to be learning, especially if you want to make a bunch of money, because the one subject that they pretty much completely miss in every school is real finance. They don't teach people about finance. They don't want people to be rich. They want people to have normal jobs and pay as much taxes as possible. And if you're real smart, you'll get a better job, which will put you in a higher tax bracket, and then they'll get more out of you. So they completely miss the financial education on purpose. And so if people want to get themselves ahead, I would say they need to focus on their financial education. And no better place to start right now in the new age than crypto, DeFi, and other, general finance.
That's a so huge topic. Probably we need a different live stream. I would just say last thing for that. Don't be like 99% of the people. Be like the 1% of the people. I think that's why we are here. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Yeah, I'm with you. You got to be like the 1%, and that's the only way that some of us are gonna get wealthy, just by making better decisions. So I think that's good, man. I don't want to keep people for too long, because I do know Argentina and Croatia are playing right now. And so I know a lot of people are ready to go. Chloe just posted on here.
You're 1-0. Oh, no.
Yeah, it's 1-0. So here we go.
No. We have time.
So I'll we'll let everyone go here. We can just close it out. I want to make sure that people know that as soon as we're done here, I'll update the video description and put your wallet address in there for the charity stuff. Let's see. Hopefully everyone watching it and that watches this over the next week, let's see if we can get enough money in there to help 3 different communities. Like you said, what did you say? It was Ethiopia, which...
Yeah, I starting in Ethiopia. That's in Africa. Okay. Hopefully this week, the first video, India and the Philippines.
Yeah. Okay. So let's see if we can maybe make an impact enough. How much money do we need to raise to help? Like $300, $100 for each?
Ethiopia, it's around 40, with 40 for a video. Very simple, because they're very extremely poor. And then Philippines around 70, and India is around 70, the same. So we talk about 180 for 3 videos. We talk about three different countries.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. That's not a lot of capital. So if you guys are watching, it's the holidays, be generous, send some money over. BUSD or BNB, I think he's accepting to that wallet, and then he'll turn around and do that, and then we'll get some videos up of the people that we help. So if you guys are willing to help, I'll send some money over here in a second, and we'll make sure we get a good head start there. But I think it'd be awesome to help those people. We're all trying to make money in this space, and I think we forget sometimes about the less fortunate who just don't have the opportunities that we do. So giving back is super major. And I know Phil's just a big advocate for, all the underprivileged people. And so I think you're making a huge impact. I'm glad you were able to come on the channel today. We should do this on a regular basis. Next time I'll come on your channel, whatever you want to do. But anything you'd like to say to close us out here, man?
Yeah, I would just say one thing. Appreciate what you have. Be happy where you are, and be happy for family, especially health. I work with so many diseases because I'm a physio, so I see every day so many different heart stuff, and just be happy, grateful for what you have. And don't forget, wherever you make some money, or if you have some time, whatever, just go and do something good. That's all. Just a little bit, anything. Spend your time to help somebody else. That's the best thing in life.
Yeah, well said, my man. Well, we'll close it out here, guys. I want everyone to know, if we don't talk to you, then I hope you're having a happy holiday, and that we're going to have a much better year next year. Pretty challenging time in DeFi, pretty challenging time in crypto, but I think next year is really going to boom, and then hopefully we can use some of that success to help people. So that's it, guys. Happy investing, and we'll see you guys on the next time.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Bye.
All right. Thanks.